Pick Show here for action on Sunday. We have all 11 games. Before we get into just a couple of things, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Free NFL picks are updated all season long. Free picks every day from all the major sports. We also have NBA, college football, college basketball starting Monday, NHL, and more. It's a good time to subscribe. And also, if you would support our channel, give us that thumbs up. We greatly appreciate it. Then visit Tony'sPicks.com. We're a multi-capper site showcasing the top cappers in our industry. Click the link to the hot cappers and get signed up to their long-term passes. Some of our hot cappers right now, like Mindy, who's been on fire here. Ramon has been on fire. Look at the numbers of the past 30 days and year to date. Nick, Ben, Hollywood Sam, one of the top unit performers of the last 30 days in college football. Click our links, get signed up to a long-term pass. You'll find our featured premium picks in the center of the page. Our best bets are here. Each capper can release one best bet per sport per day. So many of them are up there right now. Our $15 pick is a pick that we take from our card and basically make it as a promotional pick and to introduce our service to new and existing customers. And of course, many of them want to make a good impression with those best bets there at the $15 price point. And of course, our 3-packs, which are very popular with many players. One of our best sellers are the 3-packs, so check those out right there. Pick ticker in the center. If you're looking for just individual plays, a la carte, we got them there on the center for you here on the site. Our promo code is TonyT, which will save you 20% off all premium pick packages. You can access our page by clicking the link in the description, then the All Cappers tab to get signed up. We'll always love to hear from you guys, so post your picks in the comments below. We are looking for cappers, so you can apply over at Tony'sPicks.com footer section. And of course, our podcast, every pick in podcast form, Tony's Picks Podcast. Check it out, available on all major platforms. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get this one started. Bills and Jets, NFL pick Sunday. Bills have a right tackle questionable with a safety out and linebacker questionable. Jets receiver Davis out with starters healthy on defense. Buffalo moved to 6-1 after their 27-17 home win to Green Bay. Bills gained 369 yards in this one with 153 rushing on 27 attempts. Defensively, Buffalo limited the Packers' pass attack but allowed 208 yards rushing on 31 carries. Josh Allen, a season-low 52% completions, 8.7 yards per attempt. He had 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Now on the season, Allen has a 65% completion rate, a career high here, 8.3 yards per attempt. Jets are 5-3, a 22-17 home defeat to New England. Jets posted 387 yards there, 51 rushing on 15 carries. Defensively, they held the Patriots to 3.5 yards a carry, 161 passing on 35 attempts. Zach Wilson completed a season-low 48%, 8.7 yards per attempt. He did throw for 355 yards and 2 touchdowns. This season, Wilson a completion rate of 55%, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, 7.4 yards per attempt. Bills have played to 4 straight unders. Bills have the 3rd-rated defense, and the Jets 6th. Jets holding teams at just 5.8 yards per attempted pass. Wilson accuracy the major concern, as is their 33% conversion rate on 3rd down. Bills 7-2 to the under as a favorite by double digits. Play here will be Buffalo, New York Jets under 46. Vikings, Commanders, NFL pick Sunday. Minnesota starters on offense healthy. On defense, and end is out with the corner questionable. For Washington, receiver Dotson out with 2 linebackers out. Minnesota improved to 6-1 after their 34-26 home win to Arizona. Vikings gained 381 yards in this one, 173 rushing on 29 carries. Defensively, they limited the Cardinals' ground attack and allowed 297 passing yards on 44 attempts. Kirk Cousins completed 67% in the win, 6.4 yards per attempt. He did throw for 2 touchdowns and 232 yards. The veteran this season, a 66% completion rate with a 9-year low here, 6.6 yards per attempt. Washington improved to 4-4 after that 17-16 road win at Indianapolis. Commanders gained 362 yards in this one, 96 rushing on 28 carries. Defensively, they allowed over 4 yards a carry to the Colts with 189 passing on 23 attempts. Taylor Heineke completed 74% of his passes, 9 yards per attempt. He threw for 279 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. This season, Heineken, 67% completion rate, 7.5 yards per attempt. Now on the road, the Vikings averaging only 249 yards a game, and on defense on the road, giving up 472 yards, 354 passing for 9.1 yards per attempt. Heineke, an upgraded quarterback. Play here will be Washington at +3. Packers and Lions NFL pick here Sunday. Green Bay receiver Lazard questionable, as is the left tackle and left guard on offense. 2 linebackers questionable on defense. Green Bay fell to 3-5 with their 27-17 road defeat at Buffalo. Packers did gain 398 yards on the third-rated defense with 208 rushing on 31 carries. Defensively, the Packers allowed nearly 6 yards per rush with 216 passing on 25 attempts. Aaron Rodgers, 63% completion, 6.8 yards per attempt. He did throw for 203 yards with 2 touchdowns and 1 pick. On the year, the veteran has a 66% completion rate, 6.6 yards per attempt. Detroit 1-6 after a 31-27 home defeat to Miami. Lions gained 393 yards here, 82 rushing on 19 carries. Defensively, they did allow 4 yards per rush, but 369 yards allowed passing on 36 attempts. Jared Goff, 73% completion rate in the loss, 8.7 yards per attempt. On the season, Goff, 64% completion rate, 7.6 yards per attempt. Lions at home giving up 470 yards a game, while the offense produces 431. Packers moved the football for nearly 400 yards last week against one of the top rated defenses in the league, and they were on the road when they put those numbers. Now they face a 32nd and last ranked defense in the Lions. The play here will be Green Bay and Detroit over 49. Chargers and Falcons NFL pick here Sunday. Charger receivers Allen and Williams out. On defense, an end and linebacker out. Atlanta guard out, and on defense, the corners out. Chargers moved to 4-3 after their 37-23 home defeat to Seattle. Now, Chargers gained 329 yards with 53 rushing on 15 carries as they hit their bye week. Defensively, they allowed over 6 yards per rush with 191 passing on 27 attempts. Justin Herbert, 65% completions, 5.7 yards per attempt. He did throw for 293 yards, 2 touchdowns, but 1 pick. On the year, Herbert, 66% completion rate, a career low, 6.5 yards per attempt. Atlanta sits at 4-4 after their 37-34 home overtime win to Carolina. Falcons offense posted 406 yards, 167 rushing on 27 attempts. Defensively, they surrendered 4.5 yards a carry with 309 passing yards on 36 attempts. Marcus Mariota, 71% completion rate, 9 yards per attempt. He passed for a season high 253 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. This year, the veteran has a 63% completion rate, 8 yards per attempt. Falcons defense in poor form over the past 3 games, allowing 453 yards with 354 passing with 8.9 yards per attempt. Cordell Patterson is expected to play for Atlanta. Falcons averaging 4.9 yards per carry at home, along with 28 points a game. Play here at LA and Atlanta over 49.5. Dolphins, Bears, NFL pick Sunday. Miami right tackle Jackson is doubtful, and their left tackle Armstead questionable. On defense, a linebacker and safety questionable. Bears have healthy starters on offense with a corner out. Miami, they improved to 5-3. It was a 31-27 road win at Detroit Lions. Dolphins gained 476 yards in this one, 107 rushing on 26 attempts. Defensively, they limited the Lions to 4 yards per carry, but 311 passing yards on 37 attempts. Tua Tagovailoa, a season-high 80% completions, 10.6 yards per attempt. He passed for 3 touchdowns and 382 yards. This season, Tua, 70% completion rate with 9 yards per pass attempt. Chicago fell at 3-5 with their 49-29 road defeat to the Dallas Cowboys. Bears offense posted 371 yards, 240 rushing on 43 carries. Defensively, they surrendered nearly 7 yards per rush with 242 passing on 27 attempts. Justin Fields completed a season-high 74% with 6.6 yards per attempt. He had 2 touchdowns passes. This season, Fields' 58% completion rate, 7.5 yards per attempt. Bears getting good production from their ground attack with 5.3 yards per carry. Fields showing improvement in the passing game on the road. Dolphins are surrendering 280 yards passing, 70% completions, 9.4 yards per attempt on the road. It's a back-to-back road spot for Miami. The play here will be Chicago plus 4.5. Raiders and Jaguars NFL pick Sunday. Las Vegas tight end Waller questionable. Defensively, they have a linebacker questionable. Jacksonville starters healthy on offense and defense. Las Vegas 2-5 after their 24-0 road defeat at New Orleans. Raiders gained a season low 183 yards, 38 rushing on 13 carries. Defensively, the Raiders surrendered 4 yards per carry with 231 passing on 31 attempts. Derek Carr season low here, 58% completions was in the loss with 3.9 yards per attempt. He threw for only 101 yards with an interception. This year, Carr has a 63% completion rate, 6.8 yards per attempt. Jacksonville 2-6 after their 21-17 defeat in London to the Denver Broncos. Jaguars offense gained 305 yards in this one, 191 rushing on 32 carries. Defensively, they limited the Broncos to just over 3 yards per rush with 230 passing on 230 attempts. 230 Broncos to just 3 yards per rush with 230 yards passing. Trevor Lawrence completed 58% in the loss, season low 4.3 yards per attempt. He did pass for a season low 133 yards with a touchdown and 2 interceptions. The Jaguars offense had struggled here, averaging just 17 or fewer points in 3 of their past 4 games. Past 3 games, Jags defense allowing 400 yards a game with 47% conversions on third down. Play here will be Las Vegas minus the 2.5. Colts and Patriots NFL pick Sunday. Running back Taylor out with their left tackle questionable. Their starters are healthy on defense. New England receiver Parker and their center is out. Defensively, a defensive end and linebacker and safety questionable. Indianapolis fell to 3-4-1 with their 17-16 home defeat to the Washington Commanders. Colts gained 324 yards in this one, 135 rushing on 29 carries. On defense, they allowed the Commanders 3 yards per rush, 266 passing yards on 31 attempts. Sam Ehlinger, 74% completion rate in his first start with 8.7 yards per attempt. He did throw for 201 yards. New England improved to 4-4 after their 22-17 road win at New York Jets. Patriots gained 288 yards in this one, 127 rushing on 34 carries. Defensively, they limited the Jets to just over 3 yards per carry with 336 passing on 41 attempts. Mac Jones completed 68%, 5.5 yards per attempt. The second-year quarterback this season has a 66% completion rate with 7.2 yards per attempt. Ehlinger was efficient in his first start. Colts defense has performed well on the year, holding teams to 319 yards contest. Mac Jones' past 2 games have not been impressive. Not. The play here will be Indianapolis plus 5.5. Panthers and Bengals NFL pick Sunday. Carolina running back Hubbard out with a corner on defense questionable. Bengals receiver Chase out with the right tackle questionable. Defensively, a tackle's out. Panthers fell to 2-6 after their 37-34 road overtime defeat to the Atlanta Falcons. Carolina produced 478 yards with 169 rushing on 36 carries. On defense, they surrendered over 4 yards per rush with 239 passing on 28 attempts. P.J. Walker completed a season-low 53% with 8.8 yards per attempt. He did throw for 317 yards and a touchdown with a pick. On the year, Walker a 62% completion rate with 7.7 yards per attempt. Cincinnati fell to 4-4 after their 32-13 defeat on Monday night to the Cleveland Browns. Bengals a season-low 229 yards, 36 rushing on 10 carries. On defense, they surrendered about 5 yards per carry with 268 passing yards on 23 attempts. Joe Burrow, 71% completions, 6.6 yards per attempt. He was sacked 5 times on the year. Burrow, 69% completion rate, 7.6 yards per attempt. Panthers defense past 3 games allowing 255 yards passing, 71% completion rate. Bengals defense in this period allowing 7.6 yards per attempt, 4.7 yards per rush. Panthers are not getting pressure on opposing quarterbacks. The play here, Carolina and Cincinnati over 42.5. Seahawks and Cardinals NFL pick Sunday. Seattle receiver Goodwin out on defense. They got a linebacker as well out. Arizona running back James Conner is out with their center and guard in this one. A left tackle is questionable. On defense, a linebacker and safety questionable. Seattle improved to 5-3 with their 27-13 home win to New York Giants. Seahawks in this one gained 277 yards, 87 rushing on 25 carries. Defensively, they held the Giants to 3 yards a carry and just 147 passing yards on 31 attempts. And they got the quarterback with 5 sacks. Geno Smith, 67% completion rate, 6.2 yards per attempt. He did throw for 212 yards, 2 touchdowns. Season-to-date, Smith, 73% completion rate, 7.7 yards per attempt. Arizona fell 3-5 after that 34-26 road defeat at Minnesota. The Cardinals offense posted 375 yards, 78 on the ground on 22 attempts. Defensively, they surrendered 6 yards per rush to the Vikings with 208 passing yards on 36 attempts. Kyler Murray completed 70% In this one, 7.4 yards per attempt. He did throw for 326 yards with 3 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions. On the year, Murray, a completion rate of 6.1 yards per attempt. Seahawks have won 3 straight. In this period, Seattle holding opponents to 289 yards, 3.9 yards per rush, and 5 yards per pass attempt. Play here will be on Seattle +2. Rams and Buccaneers, NFL Pick Sunday. LA receiver Van Jefferson and center Brian Allen questionable. Starters on defense healthy. Tampa Bay has their tight end and left guard out. On defense, the safety is out with the corner and defensive end questionable. Rams fall to 3-4. With their 31-14 home defeat to the San Francisco 49ers, Rams a season low 223 yards, 56 of it rushing on 21 carries. On defense, they allowed 4.5 yards per rush to the 49ers with 257 passing yards on 26 attempts. Matthew Stafford's 67% completions in defeat was season low 5.7 yards per attempt. Tampa Bay drops to 3-5 after their 27-22 home defeat to Baltimore on Thursday night. Buccaneers gained 349 yards with 44 rushing on 15 carries. On defense, they allowed 7 yards per rush with 222 passing yards on 38 attempts. Tom Brady completed 59% in the loss with 7.4 yards per attempt. He threw for 325 yards and a touchdown. This season, Brady, 66% completion rate, 6.7 yards per attempt. Rams have lost 3 of 4. They have been held to 14 or fewer points in 3 of those defeats. Rams surrendering 3.4 sacks a game. Play here, Tampa Bay -3. Titans and Chiefs, NFL Pick Sunday. Tannehill questionable for the Titans. On defense, their safeties out. White with a defensive end and linebacker questionable. Kansas City's healthy on offense and on defense. And on defense, they have a defensive end suspended in this one. Tennessee improved to 5-2 with their 17-10 road win at Houston. Titans gained 354 yards in this one with 314 rushing on 45 carries. On defense, they held the Texans just over 2 yards per rush with 118 passing on 38 attempts. Tannehill, a game-time decision. He has completed on the season 65% with 7.5 yards per attempt. He missed the Texans game. Malik Willis went 6 of 10 in his first start for 55 yards and an interception. He rushed for 12 yards on 5 carries. Tannehill has traveled with the team to KC. Past 3 games, Chiefs are allowing 5 yards per rush. Titans have the run game and defense to get in arm's reach of them. Past 3 games here, Titans holding opponents to just 279 yards, 2.9 yards per rush, 6.1 yards per pass attempt. Play here will be on Tennessee +12.5. All right, that was our NFL Pick Show here, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, set notifications. Visit Tony'sPicks.com for our best bets. Find that in the description. Click the link and get signed up. I'm Tony.